Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from Naples, Florida. Yep, Naples, Florida. It's beautiful. I know, I call it a busman's holiday because we fucking had to get out of the Keys. Not that the Keys were any bad at all to be in, but since all this shit going on, it'd be nice to get out of Dodge for a little while. I hope everyone's doing well. We're doing great. We got into this luxury resort in. I'll be posting some pictures on the Keys bartender page about the room. It's a big suite with the porch is well, we have looks like we have about three porches. One off our bedroom, another small one off our living room, and a big entertainment porch on the corner. So we got near it's 18 floors, and we're overlooking the Gulf of Mexico. It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It's hot. I know we're at a beach and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of beaches where in the Keys. If you're a regular listener, you'll know that the Keys are coral islands, and there's not a lot of rock surrounding that rock. But here, there's a lot of beach. So we got here to this resort, and we're in South Florida, like almost any place in the world today. Everyone was wearing masks and things like that as they came in. There was a wedding going on. We got into town around 1:30 yesterday, went to the pool, hung out there for a while, and for a couple hours. Luckily, we're Floridians. We had some previous exposure to the sun, so we didn't get too burn up. And today we went for a nice bike ride. As the on the mainland, you see this more often. A nice little thunder shower rolled through when we were a couple miles away from the house. But Naples is a big, well, all Florida is pretty much a retirement community, isn't it? Fuck, man. The average age down here must be in their 70s. We saw a lot of Lamborghinis and, seeing old guys drive around in Lamborghinis and Audis and all different Jaguars, a couple Teslas. But Naples is a planned, somewhat restricted community. There's no signs. There's no billboards. There's no political signs up. You don't see the flags. You don't know that there's a big political contest going on down here. You can't tell by people's lawns. But it's tons of golf courses around here. Tons of golf courses, tons of turtles, tons of alligators and birds and shit like that. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Last night, I brought my wife and my daughter, and my daughter brought her friend who started school remotely today. Her first day of school was today, so my daughter's friend had to stay in. My daughter stayed with her to since she's in 8th grade still, so her friend started 9th grade, and they started remotely. But last night we had a little crossroads on what to eat. The girls wanted sushi, and I was in the mood for Italian. And I was looking for. I went on Google and I Googled it. I was looking at restaurants. I didn't even Google the hybrid, and I see this name of this restaurant called the Italian Noodle and Sushi Bar. The Italian Noodle and Sushi Bar. And it's like it popped up, like just perfect compromise. I could never hope for any more that there'd be a restaurant that would have Italian food and sushi food. Sushi, Japanese sushi food. Italian food and sushi. So we had that, and it was great. I had my veal parm and spaghetti. The girls had little fried calamari and stuff like that. But what a wonderful hybrid restaurant. You think to come to a compromise. I didn't have to go to two different places. I didn't have to sit down and eat. I don't mind sushi, but that's not much of my idea of a total meal, eating sushi all night. And it's just not the thing. But today, the wife and I got some bikes and we went riding around. We're trying. It's weird how uh, the beaches of Florida are in some places. These beaches are completely shut off from the mainland. The Naples beaches, they're, I guess they're private beaches, and they got some public beaches. You got to pay like $8 a park to get to the beach. But the resort we have, you just go downstairs. You they have every couple minutes they have one of those giant golf carts, to handle 8, 10 people driving there. So yeah, it's different. It's different down here. It's funny up here. I guess that's why I keep on saying down here. When you're so fucking far south as the Florida Keys, and maybe I'm orientated differently, meaning I feel as if I'm in the north and I'm looking south, but I'm actually in the south and I'm looking north. And but getting off the rock is just a dream. We drove in just to drive through the Everglades. You have your two choices: go through the interstate, which for 2 hours you see nothing, or you can go through I think it's called 41, and you drive through the Everglades, and all you see on half the time you're in a Miccosukee Indian reservation, and they have a little mom and pop stores, airboat rides, a couple rest stops, and that's about it. But you have a lot. You have a lot to see. You see like little canals and Everglades on either side. You get to see a little every so often alligator. You can pull off this almost well. You can pull off the side and you'll see that. And there's just more to, even though it's pretty much all the same, isn't it? It's funny, you have more to see, but it's more of the same. But we'll probably go back by the turnpike. So, on a day off when I don't have to do anything, I don't have to think about lawn, I don't have to think of work, I'm not going to think about having to bartend. Currently, I haven't had a drink. It's going on 8 months. Tomorrow will be 8 months. And I thought going on vacation would probably be difficult for me. Walking by one of those outside bars, people drinking and things like that. But it hasn't been a hardship yet. So I haven't been tempting fate. At dinner, when I ordered a bottle of wine for the wife, the it did. I almost picked up the glass to take a taste because that's my habit from years ago. After it's her wine, I bought it and I say, oh, I wonder what. But no, that's a no for me now. So I guess that's one thing I can do now without spending $100 a day extra for liquor. I don't. I can put it into nicer places to go, and it's well worth it. It's well worth it. But it's interesting seeing people. There was a wedding in the hotel last night. We could see the people when we were at the poolside. We were looking up, and there was a group of people getting into I guess it's on the other side of the hotel where we can see it from the pool. We can see the pool from us, but we mainly have a view north along the coastline, looking up to. Gosh, I guess we're facing. If we went straight out from where we were, we'd be going to Texas. But we're looking at the Gulf of Mexico. There's very few boats down here. It's incredible. All this water. There's a lot of these retirees. They're living in these condos in these gated communities. You don't see trailers with boats down here. A couple marinas, but it's not much of a boat culture. It's golf culture down here because there's golf courses all over the fucking place down here. every condominium place or homeowners park, there's a golf course. That uh, I used to think Tampa was that way, but Naples has it topped. I I would love to see. You know what? When I get off here, I'm going to take a look at the statistics on that. How much golfing can you do? I don't know, but then there's tennis courts, pools, but boats. I'm looking at miles of. I see one boat out there. I see one boat. I'm looking miles out and a couple miles stretch of the ocean right now. I see one boat in the more sparsely populated keys. And I'm looking. If I look to my right here, I can see maybe it's a little hazy, so I can probably see about 7, 8 miles, which you never really see 7, 8 miles across the land. But you think of all those people down here, and there's one boat sitting out there now. This is small, looks like a 25 footer. Yeah, so with the wife and I rented a bike this morning. Bikes comes free with the resort, so we decided we were going to look for a breakfast place. We rode a mile, then we rode 2 miles. Ended up biking about probably 10, 15 miles, not too far. We were taking our time, and about halfway through that 5 miles into it, it started. You could see the storm clouds rolling in. We're thinking about heading back, and then all of a sudden it started pouring, and we pulled into a business park where they had covered parking spaces. We sat there, and a gentleman came up. He originally lived in Belize, and he came here, and he told us that there was a shopping center nearby, less than a quarter mile away, and we ended up having breakfast, lunch there. But then you see the people come in, and gosh, it looks like transplants from my neck of the woods, Philadelphia. Women that began going to the same hairstylist for the last 30 years. The silver blonde hair that's has the hairspray there with it. Looks like a helmet. Looks like it would be bulletproof. You know the type. Nice people, but it was a little older. And my wife asked me, she goes, "What do you think about moving up here?" And I said, "It is beautiful. It's well kept. It's a well planned community. The lawns are perfect. Uh, living up here in a place in Naples, you could, for the price of getting a 2-1, you could end up getting like a 3-2, a nice 3-2 with a garage and a little bit of real yard, and I guess you'd have to pay some kind of homeowners fees to maintain it because everyone seems to be doing the same in some of these places. But they cost around $400,000 from where from for just a brand new 2-1 with a metal roof. And down here, there's no metal roofs, even though they are in Florida, and they're not hanging out like the ass end of Florida like the Keys is, but it's tile and slate roofs. Some of the big hotels have the metal roofs and things like that. But we had to go 2.5 miles to find a place. There's a mall up here where I guess they have lunch there. They have a Saks Fifth Avenue and stuff. You know my feelings about that. Where the malls are, I guess here the malls may do well because you look at the people here, they may not order things online. They need to go to a place to shop. And these stores survived. I guess they didn't survive. They missed the busy season because March is when it started hitting us here in Florida. So a lot of these people probably didn't come down here. Oh yeah, and at night here, even though it's beautiful, I'm outside right now. It's not super hot. Maybe I'm acclimatized. Who knows? Maybe I can be one of the people they volunteer for the manned mission to the sun. But I was looking at these condos across here, and it looks like about half of them are boarded up for hurricane season. And you'd see at night, you see in a 100 unit condo, we'd see, granted, we only see one side, we see about 5, 6 units lit up. And then maybe that's, maybe, yeah, maybe that's only, so five at one side, and we see that's 10% of the people are occupied. And I guess they're renting them. Maybe they're renting them the rest of the year. But I'll be posting that. And it just seems to be a little different demographic. Doesn't look like the kind of people you see at resorts all the time. Looks like more middle class people. Because normally the place we're staying here, the room we're in, they informed us we got a really good deal. They informed us that normally this would be $800 a night. I don't know $800 a night. I can see $500 a night maybe, but it needs to be a little more updated for that. But they have nice accommodations with the waters and the surrounding, the beach, the pools. Beautiful thing. And they had a wedding here last night. Seen people come in. They were hanging out at a suite, and we were looking up, and we saw people coming out. I guess they were checking in, and leaning over the balcony. And all of a sudden, you see a photographer show up, and there's a gentleman in a tuxedo, a young lady in a bridal gown. And then as we were going out to dinner that night, we saw, what was it? Perhaps about 30, 40 people coming in for the reception in the ballroom. But I guess that's a good time of year for that stuff. But I look around the Keys. I mean, we're at our hotels, even though we're more or less the same amount of restrictions here as they have in the Keys. There may be a quarter of the people. We rode our bikes on the main roads going in, the side main roads, let's say, secondary roads. And we didn't get crowded out or anything like that. Most of the traffic had no problem moving over to the left 2 lanes, or when it was single lane, just avoiding us. In the Keys, it certainly seems almost, it doesn't seem like the off season. It's just real crowded. And it's just when you get out of there and you don't have to go to the same restaurants. Mahi sandwich. I don't know how people eat mahi all day. And mahi's our local fish in the Keys. And I mean, when I first moved down here, when I moved down to Florida Keys, I'd go running in the morning and I'd grab a pound of mahi or a little less from the fisheries, which was right around the corner, and then pan fry that and throw in a couple eggs, and that was my breakfast. But I did that too many times, and I kind of ruined it for me. Every so often I could do seafood maybe every other week. That used to be a thing I could eat almost every day. I guess you get used to that. But seeing the same thing, seeing the same restaurants, hearing the same complaints. The same complaints are hearing here. We went to a supermarket to grab some sandwiches and wine while we're on the bikes during one of the, once we got around that downpour. And there was maybe 4 or 5 people not wearing masks, walking around, and the rest of them were wearing masks. I understand that. Some people they just had enough of it. But I guess they're ready to go someplace else too. But it just feels good to get out of Dodge for a change, just to blow off a little steam. Easier to talk to people, not really complain about stuff. I mean, we're the tourists now. We're the tourists here in Naples. We go in there, we talk to the at the Italian noodle and sushi bar, we talked to Scott, and I got to remember I promised Scott that I go online and leave him a nice review. So I'm going to leave them a 5-star review because Scott was helpful. He told us about what places to go to. There was the Chez Guy. That's it looks like Chez Guy, Guy, but for a French place, when you see Guy, it's Guy. So he told us it's a nice French restaurant. We're probably going to have to try that out tomorrow night. Rarely do, I mean, the selection you have in the Keys, obviously people are going to lean heavily towards seafood. Every so often you see an Italian place, right? Or some specialty restaurant, or sushi, or Mexican. There's a steakhouse about 20 miles south of us in the Keys. Pretty good. Ziggy and Mad Dogs. But rarely have I seen an accommodation such as the Italian Doodle and Sushi Bar. I'm going to tell you that came out of the blue. That just saved me so much time. And it seems that since this is a retirement community, I thought the Keys closed early. The final seating at this restaurant was 8 o'clock. Yes, 8 o'clock. And that's a dinner restaurant. It's not like a late lunch place. That's what they had on their setting. Now, I thought we closed early in the Keys. But as I'm looking around here with these, I guess these are rental properties. Because you definitely would see a lot more people here. People live part of the year down here. My ex-in-laws used to have a place down here. And used to always talk about coming down here but I was in my late 30s then, and I really couldn't think of a real strong impetus why I would go to a retirement community. But now that's 20 years later, I don't really have a problem. But time does change things. I'll be riding around a bike. It would be nice if I had like one of those hybrid off-road road bikes. That would be nice. You can get around going like 25, 30 miles per hour. Probably have to wear a helmet just so we won't kill ourselves. Instead of riding one of those street cruisers, I felt a bit like a retired person there. I don't see. Someone asked me that. When do I see myself retiring? I don't see that right now. I see. Hopefully, it's not going to be a physical disability to do that. I'm feeling pretty good right now, pretty healthy. And as soon as I take care of my medical problems, hopefully I'll be rolling along for the next 20 years. But I don't want to be one of those cantankerous old guys doing this. I may have to switch gears in the next couple of years. So, what I got? About 23 minutes. We're going to make it a short one today. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I'll be back and go to my Facebook page, and I'll be posting the pictures of our vacation here in the I was going to say in the Keys, in Naples. Oh, there's another boat coming down. The second boat in the last 25 minutes, which, like I said, there are literally 50 times the amount of people here, residences here. We're looking at in my purview right here, just looking at the condos, there's enough room for the whole entire population of Key Largo, and there's only 2 boats out on the water. So if you're not looking for a lot of an excitement, but you're looking for a relaxing time, this may be the place for you in Naples here. And I didn't give away the name of the hotel, so I don't think they're going to kick me out. And I'll post some pictures of the room. And since I don't have the pictures of I don't think I'll have any of the emblems. I won't get in trouble there. I don't want to get in trouble doing that. I am using their Wi-Fi to podcast that, though. Or am I? Maybe I'm using my local hotspot, using my phone. Who knows? I don't want to get in trouble there. They They can't prove that anyway. So for now, thank you. This is Keys Bartender signing off. Remember, share this post, share this episode with your friends. Come back and listen. I'll probably do an episode tomorrow, and we'll go back and do our call-in show on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Tuesday, 1 p.m. next week. Talk to you later. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye.